All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. We're back on live. If you have not had a chance yet to go check out the video that was dropped in WhatsApp on Wednesday, go back and check it out. A lot of cool things coming down the pipeline for us as an agency, and a lot of cool announcements here that will be made in the weeks coming up. But I'm super excited to kick off today's call with you guys because you're going to get to hear from the agent of the month for the last month of 2024 in December. Kelly absolutely crushed the month, locked in her trip, and she's also on an extremely fast track to building her team and building her agency. So Kelly's going to join us here in just a few minutes. But as we jump into today's call, I want you guys to go to our agency chat and post what is your goal for February. So it's already January 31st, the last day of the month. And it's crazy to think about this first month of 2025 already coming to a close. But go in the WhatsApp chat, drop what your production goal is. All right. And if you're brave enough, drop what that income goal is in our agency chat. I would love to cheer you guys on as you run to new heights in February. And what a month of January that we had. I'm going to go over some numbers with you guys here for last week. All right. Big shout out to the last week's top agents. Okay. Coming in the top 15. We had Willie coming in the top 15. We had Savannah, like always. We had Julie, like always, coming in the top 15. Let's give Christy Williams a big shout out for putting her name at the top of the charts last week. She had a phenomenal week. Big shout out to Aaron and Ray, always dominating it like always. Dougie Fresh. Big shout out to Doug. If I go back and count the weeks that an agent has been in the top 15 over the past 2 years, I think Dougie Fresh might have the record for that one. So big shout out to Doug Taylor for always doing great work. Same with Jenna. All right. Jenna and Doug back to back. They're always right next to each other, just crushing each week. So super proud of you, Jenna. Big shout out to Jess, crushing it like always. T Wade, check it out, guys. Not only did Taylor Wade have a huge week in life, she also had an awesome first AEP for Medicare as she juggled both. And on top of that, she closed her annuity, closed that thing, got it sold, helped her client get into such a better spot with her investment there. So big shout out to Taylor Wade. She's like the triple threat agent: Medicare, life, and annuities. She slung all in the month of January. So nice work to you, Taylor. Big shout out to Kay, always dominating it. Super excited for the Gilbert girls, led by Kay there. Nice work to you, Kay. We had Allison. Same thing with Allison. Life, Medicare, and she's working on some annuities right now. So big shout out to her. She's got 2 annuities in the works. So just absolutely crushing it like always. Got a big shout out here. Excuse me. Big shout out to Jody. Jody putting her name at the top of the chart. I know Jody found a fact finder as well to go along with her life sales. One of my things got cut off there, but I believe that says Jess up there in the top 4 as well. So nice work to her. And then coming in at number 2 and number 1, all right, Rebecca, huge congratulations to you. Each week for the entire month of January, Rebecca has put her name in the top 3 each week. So nice work to you, Rebecca. And taking home number 1, we've got Becca absolutely getting started and putting her name at the top of the chart. So Becca, super proud of you for taking home agent of the week last week. Phenomenal job to you guys. Let's talk about some fact finding form, guys. So before that, verse of the day. All right. I put this one in here for you guys. Matthew 19:26. Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. This was such a fitting verse to wrap up this week because, as you guys know, Alicia and I had to go on a little work trip here in the beginning of this week. And as we were meeting with some really cool people, learning about a lot of cool features, a lot of cool things coming up, we just were looking at each other, and it's like, it's crazy to see where God has taken this agency from 2021 to right now here, kicking off 2025. It's just such a complete circle, such a complete, it's honestly just shocking. If you really look at the trajectory of where we're at here at FFA and all of the doors that he's opened up for all of us here, it's just, this is the verse that could explain that the best, right? And as I look at these numbers, as I look at you guys every single week going out there and helping the families that you're helping, this verse is just the foundation of it all. So with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. So that's so true. Go into your weekend knowing that, go into next week knowing that verse as well. Big shout out to a lot of agents for their fact finding. So check it out, guys. To kick off this year, all right, in just the last 4 weeks, we're approaching close to $1 million of annuities. All right, that's insane. It's like one after the other is coming into the pipeline, and we've already got almost $1 million worth of business in the books for fact finding. All right, so big shout out to all of you guys out there who have been having these conversations with your clients and being able to help them get put into better spots. We have some products out there right now that are offering your clients 16% for a premium bonus, all right, for what they have invested. So that's huge, guys. If they have $100,000 and they want to leave it behind for a family or draw a lifetime income off of it, or heck, they just want to put it in somewhere that they're not going to lose money in it and they're going to grow interest, that's a $16,000 free bonus for them. So many of you guys have implemented that as we taught it towards the end of last year, and look at the results from it, right? Already close to $1 million in business for that, in the works, getting pushed through and getting processed. So nice work to you guys there. But talk about numbers. What a huge month of January, between the annuities, between the life insurance production, between the Medicare. It's without a doubt, all right, a record month for FFA to kick off 2025 in the history of FFA. So super proud of you guys for doing that. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on Kelly, all right, to give you guys a snapshot into Kelly. She put up like, I think close to $30,000 of just life business, net issued, paid, good business, right? Approved, good to go, paid for her to wrap up 2024. She qualified for the Cancun trip. But then on top of that, to kick off this year, she also has brought on a bunch of brand new agents in the pre-licensing. So Kelly, I'm going to add you here to the live feed. Let me get you going here. All right, Kelly, you are with us. I appreciate you for jumping on here.
Hey, Ron.
Kelly, awesome work to you. So super proud of you, Kelly. So you've just, the past 2 months, you've been like flipped a switch, production, recruiting, doing all of that. And I know so many agents look at that and they're like, how is Kelly doing what she's doing? So that's why I brought you on here today for just a Q&A. But Kelly, give everybody that doesn't know who you are just an idea. All right. What were you doing before insurance, and what got you started into it?
All right. So before insurance, let me start from the very beginning. I was in the medical field before I had kids, and working full time, just around the clock, too many hours for a lot less money, not enough money. And then I had Branson, and I just decided I couldn't go back to work because I couldn't afford to go back to work. I was maxed out pay, and there just wasn't any way. So me and my husband, we just decided that, it was going to be better for me to just stay home and, raise kids. So for 10 years while I was raising my babies, that's what I did. And Alicia, for a full solid year, you remember, Ron, she haggled me. I was like, come on, Kelly, I know you would do good at this. You would love this job. Come work with me. And one night we were together and she started really talking to me about it and telling me more details. And, and Brandon was there and he was like, okay, we're doing this, so I came in the beginning, I was just kind of dabbling in it because my little girl was still home with me. So I was just doing it a little bit, part-time. And then I went to full-time. And this career has changed our life. I mean, I absolutely can't imagine doing anything different. It's fulfilling. The money is amazing. I get to see lives changed as I bring on new agents. And that's what it's all about. You know, if you have a job and you don't love your job, you're just going to work and it's not fulfilling to you anymore. You know, it's a game changer when you have a job where you can bless other people, plus you're blessed in return. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
That's awesome, Kelly. Now, question for you. What's harder, being an insurance agent or being a stay-at-home mom?
Oh,
what
definitely.
one's harder?
I will go to work any day now. I love my children. Y'all know I love my children. Like I eat, sleep, breathe them. Okay. But I do enjoy going to work.
That's so true. I remember I had to be a stay-at-home dad for like 4 weeks one time, like years ago when I was we moved actually to the mountains, and I had to wait 4 weeks like before my new job started. And that was the hardest 4 weeks ever. Lana and Tanner were like Lana was 2, Tanner was like 6 months old. I told Alicia, I'm like, I will lose money paying daycare versus being a stay-at-home parent. But I just couldn't do it. So I envy you for being able to do that for that long. But what was it like, Kelly? So there's a lot of moms like in a similar spot, you know, like they're trying to hold down the fort with their kids and school and this and that. And, you know, their spouse works and maybe they're a single mom. And so give everybody kind of an idea, like how were you able to kind of like put that mommy hat up and then go to work, right? And then how are you able to manage all of that? Because I know a lot of moms want to be able to bring in income, but they don't know, like, you know, who's going to watch the kids, pick kids up. How does that work? Like, give everybody an idea. How is that transition for you?
We are very scheduled. So my little girl is in dance and she's in competition dance now. So it is a lot. She spends a lot of hours at the dance studio. My little boy, Branson, he plays guitar, so he has guitar practice. Brandon, my husband, we own a landscaping business. So we're both running 2 businesses, you know, and I have to ask for help. Last year, the end of the year, Brandon was like, you know, hey, I want to get you some help. We're going to hire a cleaner, because my motto is just because I can do it all doesn't mean I should do it all, right? And it takes a village to help and to make sure everything's done. And I know a lot of ladies can understand this. I'm just not a happy person when my house is a wreck, okay? And when I don't have time to do it all. So he was like, you know, let's get somebody. I'm going to find somebody for you. That's what I did. That took a lot off of me, because you have to ask for help. Like, we can't do it all. We are human. We're not meant to do it all. So that took a lot of stress off of me, to be able to free up some time, because I felt like I could really, you know, just focus on work. I have to ask my village for help. You know, my in-laws are my saving grace. I mean, not all the time, but, you know, if I need them to, they can pick my kids up from school. You know, if I need to reach out to someone else, I just make sure that I have it planned out. If I know that I'm going to work this day and I'm going to be, let's just say I'm going to be an hour away, I know that I'm probably not going to be home in time to get the kids by 2:30. And so I just kind of have to, you know, plan out my day and plan out my week just to know that, hey, I've got this person that's picking up Carly to get her to dance this day. It really is about being consistent and, you know, having that schedule laid out, because if you already know, you know, today, this is what's going to happen, then you have no excuses. Nothing's going to get in your way. And that doesn't mean that some days are always going to work out just perfect, because things happen. It's life, right? But for the most part, you can kind of maneuver through it. And, you know, I mean, Brandon, he's self-employed. So if I absolutely have to have him home, I'm like, hey, I need you to get home to get the kids because I have, you know, this appointment. So you really do. That was the hardest thing for me starting out this career, because I was used to being it all. You know, I was used to being, you know, the mama, the cleaner, the, you know, the taxi driver. Like, I did all the hats. And so and I'm very, very super independent. So I've had to really work through all of that within myself and start asking people for help, because I don't like to depend on anybody. That has been a very hard thing for me to overcome, but I've done it. And now I don't mind asking for help. I will delegate in a hot second.
Delegate. That's the good word, right? That's hard too. Like, I'm the kind of person who just doesn't ask for help either. Like, if my tire goes flat or if I run out of gas in my truck, I will literally walk 3 miles to the gas station before I call someone to come help me with it. But
Yeah.
when you're running a business and doing that, that's what people are for, right? To help you out. And I think
Mm-hmm.
you can only go so far by yourself. One thing you said too, Kelly, like you hired a cleaner. A lot of agents struggle because they view this like a job. They don't view it like a business. And if they would step back and look and see, okay, it takes me, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours to clean my house a week. Like once a week, you deep clean your house. What does it take? Like 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's your time worth, right? So that 2 hours, if you're an agent and you're on the phones or you're sitting with a client, you could potentially make $500, $1,000, $2,000 in that same time frame, and it might cost you, you know, 250, 300 to pay someone to come clean the house for you. So you're actually losing money as a business owner by not delegating. And then on the opposite side of that, I think God puts business owners in a specific role because you can then bless other people, right? So like think about whoever you hired to clean, like you're putting food on their table, you know, you're putting money in their account for their kids. So it's a ripple effect of being able to like evolve in that mindset of not doing everything for yourself. So Kelly, let's talk about leads. So we ran this incentive last month, right? Where it was like, if you hit 4K a week, we give you like 15 leads a week or whatever it was that we did. You hit that every week. And the thing I loved about what you did, you never one time complained about like the lead or where it was or anything. You just went out and sold them all. So what's your view on leads? Do you have a favorite lead type, or give every agent just an idea? Like what are you working out there?
Oh my goodness. So I kind of do it all. Some of my, you're going to laugh. Some of my favorite days literally are the days that I go out and I have no leads. I love days like that because it is so stress free for me. I mean, it just feels so freeing to just be able to go and just, I mean, I will pray. Literally, this is what I do. I'll pray before I leave the house that God will bless me and God will put the perfect person in my path that needs my help. And I have got so many stories of how he really worked in my life the month of January and how he truly put people in my path at just the right time. I mean, not even just the right time for me, but just the right time for them. I came across 2 different people that they had universal lives, and their cash value the day before I got there, her cash value hit 0. And y'all know what that means. I mean, her policy was terminating and she didn't even know it. Another guy, 80 years old, you know, he had $17 left in his cash value, didn't have a clue. And at 80 years old, that's the last thing you want to find out. So back to the leads. Okay. I love integrity leads. I love old leads. I used to spend thousands of dollars.
Yes, you did. I remember.
Leads. And I was just like, gosh, this is crazy. So, but it's a good tax write-off. So it's not a bad thing to spend that money because then you've got that to write off your taxes, but it really cuts into your income too. So I use old leads. I buy integrity old leads now and I love it. And I will not sleep on a neighbor. Okay. So I will knock any neighbor that looks like it's a good house. And that has been my best leads is neighbors. Referrals. I do referrals. I made a lot of money the month of December off of referrals and Facebook ads or Facebook posts. You know, I have a lot of y'all, you know, so many people and so many people need you. And if they trust you, they'll let you help them. So don't feel bad about, you know, posting on Facebook and putting out, you know, what you do. And because if you don't let people know what you do, you're not going to be able to help them. I also put a logo on my car on my Expedition, and I got someone reach out to me because of that.
Did you? That's awesome. What's the logo? Is it just like your name, your phone number? Like
I didn't even put my number. It's just the logo of LeGrand Agency, and then life insurance, annuities. It just kind of has a real brief, not extravagant or anything, explanation of what I do. So
that's awesome. So you don't have like a selfie of you like on your car, like a vinyl wrap?
Crazy.
You could get more leads that way.
Yeah, I'll just get a wrap on my car of my face, right?
There you go. That's what you should do. No, that's awesome. But I love that you're opening up every door. You know, like guys, if you're an agent and you're listening to this, don't be a lead snob or you're like, I gotta do this, you know, because Kelly, I was just like you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on new leads. And yeah, they might be easier to work. And I'm all for new leads, right? But not if it makes you lead poor. Like if
Right.
you spend all this money and you return a lot, but you look at the difference, like what'd you spend and what'd you make? Or you could go out, buy the market, like on the Integrity Lead Center, the marketplace leads. I love those. Every time I've gone out training an agent with those, I don't have any wood to knock on, but I've not had less than a $2,000 day working those leads. So it's like, why would I spend $80 a lead when I could spend $7?
Definitely.
Like, it's a big difference, right? So it's all about just how you approach people. So let's talk about neighbors. That's interesting because Jennifer was on this call not too long ago, and she's with you working alongside you on your team. And she was talking about neighbors too. And that's where I think she had a $10,000 week off neighbor knocking. What do you say to neighbors when you go up to their door?
I say the same thing that I say to my other leads, because really when I work my other leads, I never say, this is what you requested, because I just feel like I have gotten so much objection from that in the past that it's not worth me risking it. Some people will be like, hey, yeah, I do remember. And then, 75% is going to be like, I didn't do that, and I just avoid that objection altogether. And I'm just like, hey, it's just my job to come here and help you with the new benefits. And now I love a new year, because you get to say with the new 2025 final expense benefits, because it's a new year, hey, I'm here. It's a new year. It's time for us to go over this. It's just my job, and I really don't have anybody to say, I mean, for the most part, of course, we get those people that are not going to let you in no matter what, but it just works. And I just try to keep it real light, hey, I'm just here. It's just my job. It's no big deal. Because when you're all serious and stuff, they're like, this is going to be, they're going to try to sell me something. This is going to be too serious, So I just try to all with them and laugh with them at the door, and they feel comfortable with me. So I just don't get objections at the door.
That's such a good tip. I'm glad you mentioned that, Kelly. Guys, 2025, January, February, March, it is the perfect time to introduce yourself to neighbors. And Kelly's not misleading them. There are a lot of new things for this year. There's a lot of new products. All right. You've got a lot of carriers that updated their products. They have different rate classes now. We have a lot of new carriers that we just kicked off towards the end of this past year. And one of the most important things is your clients are in a different spot this month than they might have been 5 months ago when another agent visited them. Maybe 5 months ago they had a stroke within the last 2 years, and now it's outside that time frame. Now they don't have to be in a 2-year waiting plan, and you can shorten that wait by 1.5 years, right? So it is never a bad time to knock a neighbor. And I love that you just assume it. You don't ask, do you want to go over this, or do you remember? Because if you do that, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So Kelly, let's talk about issuing business, right? So one of the things is everything, right? If I look back on last month, it wasn't like you were writing, $10K, $15K a week, every week. You were writing $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 weeks. But at the end of the month, everything that you wrote went through, got issued, got paid, got approved. Give an agent that struggles with that idea. A lot of agents write a lot of business, but not all of it will stick. So how do you get that to actually process?
So I learned the hard way. When I was trying to run for Punta Cana, I missed it by just very little. And it was my fault because I did not follow up with the business like I should have to make it sure it placed. Okay. You have to be diligent and you have to be disciplined to make sure that you're going behind your business, because these clients are depending on you. They're dependent on us to make sure that we do what we say we're going to do. So if we're dropping balls, we're not professionals. We're not running our business like we own it. We're just, writing business. That's it. So you have to stay on top of your business. You have to check your emails. And when you check your emails, Alicia taught me this a long time ago. Don't touch it until you can take care of it. So until I know that I can like she sent me an email last night. I haven't opened it yet because I'm not had the chance to take care of it yet. So when I open up an email, I try really hard to take care of it right then. And that way, I either email back the company, and take care of it then, or I call them right then. because if we're not placing our business, we're not making money. And if you're not making money, you can't live, right? So you just have to really be diligent and make sure that you're, placing your business, and it's not just, left out there hanging out to not ever place or to get denied or forget about it. That's not good business for you or your clients.
For sure. Such a good point, guys. In today's world with the e-applications to the phone interviews to getting it approved, like when you sit down with a client, that whole sale should be wrapped up within like 1 to 3 days. If you have clients that are pending outside of that, unless it's a fully underwritten plan and you're waiting on like a paramed exam, but if it's just simplified issue, 1 to 3 days is it. And if you notice that it's still pending or you've not gotten paid yet, or whatever the case is, you want to stay on top of that. You want to make sure you send in those stop draft forms, the cancellation forms, the cash surrender forms, because every day that you wait is a day that could be potentially costing your client money, which in turn is costing you money. So definitely want to do that. Kelly, to wrap up the call, we got a few minutes left. Let's talk about recruiting. So I noticed like just in the past couple of weeks, right, you've put a bunch of people in the pre-licensing exam. For the agent who wants to run to be a top agent, but then also build their agency and recruit at the same time, what are some tips you have for them?
Well, let people know what you do. Let people see what you're doing. Okay. If they don't know what you're doing, you can't help them. And my purpose this year is I want to help as many people as I can. Of course I want to write a lot of business, but I really want to help a lot of women that are where I was. I want to see people's lives change like my life has been changed through this, because I know what this career can do for you. It has changed my life in so many different ways, not just financially, but in all the ways it's changed our life. And I just want to be able to see other people's lives change like mine, because in this world, you've got to have a good career to be able to have to do what you want to do. It's very expensive to live now. And there's so many people that are struggling that they don't have to struggle. You don't have to struggle in this life. And I just want to see lives change like mine has been. And I feel like you have to reach out to people. I've been reaching out to a lot of girls that a lot of warm market, hey, how are you liking your job? Are you looking for a different career? This is what I do. You just have to talk to people and don't be afraid, because you don't ever know what people are going through in their life, and you don't know how you can help change that path, So we've been given it's our place to tell others what we do. Don't be a closet agent, let people know what you do.
Such a great tip there, guys. I love that, Kelly. I love that you've got that mission, to help people, because that's really what takes your agency a long way. It's one thing if you're like, hey, I just want to grow. That's cool and all. But when you actually are focused on, hey, how do I help somebody not struggle financially anymore? And like, that's the main focus, is how do you help them? That's when you start seeing just your team just starts exploding, because there's so many people, like you said, that really do need help with that, especially in today's world with how expensive everything is, and just the scheduling aspect of it. I couldn't imagine having to have a 9 to 5 with kids. I don't even know how it's possible anymore. Like dropping, I dropped our kids off at daycare this morning, and, a lot of times I'll drop them off and then come and pick them up. And then a lot of their kids are sitting there from 7 a.m. to 6, 7 o'clock at night, because people have a regular 9 to 5, 9 to 6 job. You don't have any time back, with your family. And the thing I love most about this is it gives you time back to be able to actually spend time with them.
There's no way that I could go. I say it all the time. There's no way that I could go back to working a job like that, because it would really take away from my kids. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to just do it all, and with this career, that's what is possible. I wear a lot of hats. Brandon wears we all wear a lot of hats, but we're able to do it all because I can. If I need to be off at 2 o'clock, I know that I just have to plan for that. Hey, I'm going to be off by 2 to pick up, my child at 2:30. It's perfect. It's just the perfect situation. So
that's awesome. Well, Kelly, if someone's watching this, because we have a lot of people watch it after we post it, through Facebook and different things, how do they reach out to you if they want to work alongside of you? Where can they find you?
I mean, they can call me. Do you want me to say my number?
We'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't want
Just
spam phone calls.
Anyway, they can email me, call me.
You got Facebook and all that? Instagram?
Kelly LeGrand at Instagram.
Awesome.
All the things. So
Facebook famous, right?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey Kelly, super proud of you for just kicking this year off with a huge start. You finished last year on a huge ending, and now you're kicking this year off on an even bigger start. So super great call. I love all the tips. Guys, if you're just tuning in, go back and watch it and take these tips that Kelly shared away. So Kelly, great work. Everybody that tuned in today, appreciate you guys for being on here. Let's go finish this week strong. We got today and tomorrow to finish the month, really today to finish the month of January. So if you're running for a promotion this month, crunch some numbers, crunch some carriers that are going to approve it on the spot today. And we'll be back here on Monday. Thanks again, Kelly.
Thank you, Ryan.